I'm really nonplussed, and I'm very seldom nonplussed. But when you come home, that's the only place people don't do what you tell them. I thought they told me that I was very important, but I'm very unimportant here tonight. Everything I say is not so. I tell them I can take care of myself. I could get up here by myself. But it is really, really very warming. I don't think you young ladies know how many men there are in Boston, because I had all of them tonight. From about 4 o'clock this afternoon. And I really feel like hanging my head down. And if it wasn't for my really beloved young brother, I would not do this. I've thought so much, so strenuously, since I heard that we were going to have a St. Cyprian reunion, of what I might say. Well, I know that my brother Farakhan has beautiful things to say and says them at great length, but I could beat him tonight. If I would tell you what St. Cyprian's meant to me, when my father died and I was cleaning out his belongings, I saw a well-handled, battered baptismal certificate, Elma Lewis, by the Reverend David Louis Farakhan in 1922. I was born in 1921 and was immediately a member of St. Cyprian's. And I might say quite candidly that almost all of the best things that have happened to me in my life originate in that little church at that corner. Of course, when I was a child, I thought it was a cathedral. I was shocked when I went back and looked at it and saw how little it was. I would tell all the children at school about this fabulous church. All of my best friends until today are the people I knew at St. Cyprian's. Many of them are professionals here in Boston, many of them all over the country and even the world. We're still a group. 7 of us had birthday parties and Christmas parties the year I was 13. We still have all of those little invitations that were the beginning of our cultural understanding. When you say cultural, I really don't like people to say that I am involved in the arts. The arts are an expression of the culture of the people. The culture begins with their spiritual depth. And for all of us in here, whatever we do today, our spiritual depth began at St. Cyprian's. That is where children learned that adults were our superiors. This society taught us something different. But that respectful, respectable society told us that every woman in there was our parent, had authorization to discipline us, advise us, and do the things which led us to glory. All of the men respected us. When we went to our Friday night parties in that parish hall, they were governed by the members of the parish. We who loved words had St. Bede's Literary Guild on Sunday afternoon. I don't know what nonsense we were writing, but we thought they were great speeches, and we got up and gave them there. And there was a magnificent, magnificent little boy with a round, smiling face that has not changed his expression. In fact, I don't believe I heard the truth tonight. He never did anything wrong. The newspapers are constantly calling me up and asking me what kind of a child he was. Didn't he do anything wrong? No, say I. So don't contradict me. I never knew a better child than Louis Farakhan. Always obedient, always accepting chastisement from these ladies, always accepting praise from them, always going where he was directed. He confined his misbehavior to other children his age. That's where he learned the techniques to be the Muslim minister. Did St. Cyprian's play a really important part in his life? Yes. He was, today when children go to high school, one little girl told me, we're supposed to be bad. We didn't know that. When I talked to my now very successful accountant, a very poor little Irish boy, he graduated with Louis Farakhan, then Eugene Walcott, from English high school. What a fabulous kid he was. Athlete, scholar, all of it. The fact that that was handled correctly by those ladies who helped to raise him with his blessed mother is what made him who he is today. I think if we want to say what we got from St. Cyprian's, it was the rock on which to stand. Now, many of us have changed our minds about what we think religiously. Most of us, I'm happy to say, know that God is our eternal Father, and He makes us in different shapes, conditions, so that all needs will be met. I see things one way, you see things another. Together we make a positive, marvelous whole. When I hear over and over, no, I'm going to desist because, as I said, I could continue all night. Yesterday morning, I go 3 times a week by ambulance from my door, and next door to me lives the young Muslim minister. He is a part of my salvation. Yesterday, young men were coming out of his house as I was leaving, and I could hear them talking to me, but I couldn't see them. And they came over to the ambulance, where there were 2 quite ordinary white boys driving the audience and carrying a stretcher. They said to me as we left, "Are those Muslims?" And I said, "Yes." They said, "I thought so. They're always so good-looking, clean and polite." Now, you see, that's contrary to what the newspapers and the radio tells us the world feels. You hear one-to-one what people feel. These young white boys, who are not highly educated people, were not threatened. They felt comfortable at people who looked properly, spoke properly, and were gracious. They didn't question their theology or anything else about them. They were people who dignified the society. That's all each of us has to be. And I revere those ladies who started St. Cyprian's, who never thought that they didn't have to know refinement unless they were wealthy, who never thought children had to be bad because they didn't have luxury, who never thought that anything less than the best was what all the people in this room should have. They didn't have to wait till they had 10 degrees. In fact, my mother was fond of saying, "I went to my 2-cent school and you went to your university." And she knew that that did not give us any edge on her. In fact, she used to say to us, "When you get those diplomas, come down here and hand them to me. I earned them." And those children who are successful today come through something like the St. Cyprian's experience. If not the same thing, something like it. I only pray that it can continue and continue, and that we may see unity, each with the other, not questioning how you worship. I have no problem with my brother who comes to see me as often as he comes to Boston. I'm sometimes queried, well, doesn't he say this, that, or that? That's not the tenor of our conversation. We dignify each other. We love each other. I want you to greet with the warmest, heartiest welcome your beloved church boy, your grand leader in the world today, the Minister Louis Farakhan.
Thank you.